What's up everyone, David here. Got a new video for y'all today, but before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos, because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. Now today, honestly, is nothing crazy. I'm just going to be taking y'all through my leg workout. I would like to point out the whole point of this leg workout is not to build strength, not just to lift as heavy as you can, but we're focusing on the contraction, we're focusing on building up the muscle. So think of it more like a bodybuilding leg workout. And so we're going to be focusing on the weak points. For me personally, weak points are going to be the calves. So I'm going to be starting off with standing calf raises, and then I'm going to be supersetting that with lying hamstring curls. Like I said, nothing crazy. Let's get into it. Oh, God. Oh, wait. Those burn like crazy. All right, so obviously starting off with the calf raises. I know many of you, just like myself, that's our weak point. We got to start working on it. But at the same time, how many of you complain that your calves are small, but you skip training them half the time? So it's your fault that they're small, that they look like that. So that's why for these type of workouts, I put the calves at the very beginning. Because if I start off with squats, RDLs, the big lifts that most of y'all do at the beginning of your workouts, by the end I'm tired. I'm just gonna skip calves altogether. So, and that's a good thing about bodybuilding workouts, or like to put it in quotes, bodybuilding workouts, is the whole point is not to lift as heavy as you can. If you notice a lot of my previous videos, leg day workouts, I do those workouts because my main emphasis is building strength. That's what I personally like to do. I like to get stronger, get bigger, things like that. I'm not too concerned about the way that I look, or at least I wasn't. Lately, I've been starting to get a little bit more into the bodybuilding, the aesthetics, the looks. Probably part of it is because it's summertime. But when it comes to training for strength, you obviously want to start with your main movements, the squat, because that's the main movement you're trying to build up. Afterwards, you do some variations of the squat, like that's going to carry over to the normal squat. So, like for example, you might do some box squats, some front squats, some pod squats, something that's going to help build up your overall leg strength. But with these type of workouts right here, bodybuilding, you're not focusing on how much you're lifting. You're just focusing on contracting that muscle as much as you can, and you're not really focused too much on the type of lifts that you're doing necessarily. For example, you're not going to say, to build my quads I have to do squats, compared to, no, I have to do front squats, or I have to do leg press. No, you don't have to do one movement over the other. The movement itself is not the priority. You just need to find something where you can contract your quads against a good amount of resistance. So that's why starting off with the calf raises, and then the reason for supersetting with the hamstring curls is because I got work after this, so I gotta rush it. If I do one exercise at a time, I'm gonna be sitting here forever. So that's a good reason. But more details on the hamstring to come. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get another set. I think that was right around 3 minutes of rest time. Can't do the leg curls without my little block right here. You may be wondering why I have a block right here. I'll explain it in a bit. Let me just get this set in. Oh, okay. That's all I got. Oh, yeah. All right, so. Oh my God, dude, that burns. So, I don't have access to, obviously, all the equipment in the world, as if I was training in a commercial gym. I'm right here in my own backyard, so I'm very limited, but we're making the best out of it. So, for these, hold on, I'm out of breath. So for these hamstring curls, leg curls, whatever you want to call them, I actually am trying to mimic as much as possible a seated hamstring curl. Don't know what a seated hamstring curl machine is? Go ahead and look it up. The reason why I like that machine is because I feel like I get a deeper stretch in my hamstrings, because not only are you extending your knee, but you're bending at the hip as well. And we all know you want to stretch out your hamstring as much as possible, lock out the knee, bend at the hip, because your hamstring crosses two joints. It crosses your knee joint. That's why it allows you to go like this. And it also crosses your hip joint. That's why it allows you to lock out your hips. That's why we do RDLs or back extensions for hamstrings. So how can I mimic that the most I can here on this? Well, instead of having the bench like this, where it's perfectly flat, I actually put it on a decline. So it gives my hips a little bit more of a bend, because now it's straight and then it bends down. And then on top of that, I try to lift my hips up a little higher so I can get even more of that bend. That's what this thing is for. That's why I put a little pad right here to elevate me a little higher. Pretty much just trying to maximize the amount that my hip is bending down. And then trust me, you'll feel the difference. Even if your commercial gym has a lying hamstring curl, but you don't feel like you get enough of a stretch, go ahead and just stack up a bunch of mats, whatever you can find right here where your thighs go. You'll feel it a lot more. You'll feel the stretch, especially on the way down. And since we're talking about on the way down, you may know I'm going real slow. Again, the whole point is not just to move weight from point A to point B. It's about contracting the muscles as much as possible, going through its full range of motion. And when it comes to building muscle, a lot of you just lift the weight up, as you should, but then you let gravity do all the work. You just let it slam straight down. You don't control it on the way down. You just let it be. That right there is what you call the eccentric. The eccentric movement of any exercise is the part where the muscle is actually lengthening. So that is something that should be emphasized more, especially if you're someone who's trying to build muscle, or let's just say bodybuilding, because you'll see more results if you start putting some emphasis behind the eccentric contraction of the muscle compared to only focusing on the concentric. The concentric is the part where the muscle is actually contracting. Everyone thinks that's the most important part. No. Prioritize the eccentrics, letting the weight down slowly, and you'll see you'll make a lot faster results. Now, if you completely ignore it and only focus on the concentric, yeah, you'll still see results. But if you want even more gains, slow on the way down, and that's what I'm doing here. So it'll definitely burn a lot more. You probably won't be able to go as heavy, obviously, because now you have to really control it and emphasize that stretch at the bottom. But that's okay. The whole point of bodybuilding is not who can lift the most weight, it's who can build the most muscle. And these are ways that are going to help you build more muscle. Okay. So you see, I could have got a couple more reps on that one, but the form would have been horrible and kind of defeats the purpose of what I just said and making sure they're good quality reps. Again, leave your ego aside, focus on those weak points. I'm tired of having small calves. I'm tired of people making fun of me thinking I skip leg day just from the look of my calves. I don't skip leg day. I didn't get to 405 squat by skipping legs. I do train them. It's just the calves are lacking a bit. Okay, I'm done. Wait. Oh man, that burn, that stretch. I swear it's no joke. And then one thing to also emphasize that a lot of people I feel like don't bring up during their workout is, bro, stay hydrated. Drink enough water. And then, side note, I used to teach a lot of group classes and a lot of just one-on-one clients, group classes. You know, I used to train a lot of people back in my day. I was a personal trainer in college. And even today, I work at the rec center of the college that I went to. And occasionally, I teach a group class there. And during like the hotter months, obviously you sweat more because it's hotter. I get a lot of people asking me, like, hey, is it good that I feel a little lightheaded when we work out? Like I'm sweating so much and I'm feeling like I'm seeing a little blurry. One thing that you should probably look into when it comes to your workouts is, I know a lot of you drink water, or at least you should be, constantly, not just during your workout, but throughout the day. But when you sweat more than just water. You sweat out vitamins, minerals, salts, electrolytes, everything. So when you're only drinking water, you're only replenishing the water. You got to replenish everything else. So that's why I like to either put some Gatorade, some Powerade, some type of sports drink in here. Even if I don't have that, I'll even put just like regular like juice, like orange juice, cranberry juice. Hell, I'll even go with Sunny D, Kool-Aid, something with sugar, something with a little added something, you know, to put in here. And it's gonna make a world of a difference. Again, your body does not only sweat out water, so therefore you should not only replenish it with water. You got to add a little extra stuff. That's why there's so many sports drinks. Why do you think in any pro sport or any sport in general, on the sideline they have Gatorade and water? If it wasn't so essential, they would only have water. But no, they have Gatorade for a reason. They have something with sugar, something with sports drink, something with electrolytes. Make sure you drink that, especially as we get into the hotter months. You're gonna be sweating a lot more. This will definitely help out. Okay, so I'm done with the first two exercises. Next two exercises I'm gonna do is, I'm still gonna be on the calf raise machine, but you notice at first, or maybe you couldn't tell from the angle, but I had my feet pointed together. Now I'm gonna go ahead and lighten up the weight. I'm gonna still do my calf raises, but now I'm gonna do 10 with my toes pointed out, 10 with my toes pointed in, and 10 with my toes pointed forward, and that will be one set. So 30 reps in total. And then after that, I'm gonna superset it with some back extensions. So let's get into it. Well, first off, I gotta lighten the weight. And then, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but in my previous videos, I haven't had this. So RitFit, RIT-FIT, was so kind as to send me some workout equipment. And if you haven't seen that review video, please do so. They sent me this attachment, which was supposed to go on the power rack that they sent me, which also, if you haven't seen that power rack video, by all means, please do so. Please watch it. But it was good. It's mainly meant for like hack squats, because obviously you put it on your shoulder, but I don't like the fact that it connects to the squat rack, because that means it usually will connect like right around here and then it will extend out this way. But the thing is, the way where my power rack is, it will end up hitting this post, or once I keep it connected on here, I can't squat because that's where the bar goes. So it's a good machine. I really love it for calf raises more than I do squats, hence why I'm using it for calf raises. But I honestly don't like that it gets in the way of everything else that I'm trying to use the rack for. Like, I don't like having to set up equipment. I like when it's already set up for me, because if I have to set it up, I'm probably not going to do it. So I'm like, you know what, I need a better solution. So I went ahead and mounted it onto this wall, and look at us now. Now we're really taking advantage of the gains here. So let's get into it. A little bit lighter weight. Let's go ahead and get these calf raises in. Again, we're gonna go toes pointed each way. Same thing, slow and controlled. Full contraction at the top, full stretch at the bottom. All right, that's 10 with the toes out. Now readjust, 10 in. Last 10. Oh my God, do those burn. Oh, those burn, man, those burn. So those right there just go to show you that point that I was making earlier of your hamstring. It crosses two joints, your knee and your hip. So that pretty much mimics an RDL, because when we do an RDL, what's the main joint that we're bending at? It's our hip. Hamstring crosses over it, so that's why it allows us to extend our hip forward. So there's days like today where I really don't feel like doing RDLs. Just setting up the bar, having to grab the straps, or even if I don't use straps, just like, man, my forearms aren't feeling it today. I did a heavy back workout yesterday, so my forearms are kind of feeling it from today. I'm like, I don't feel like doing RDLs. So easy substitute is back extension, which again, the exercise itself is not really as important as most people make it out to be. It's more of what's gonna get you to contract the muscle the way that you're looking for. It's like people that do, let's just say, dumbbell flies versus cable flies. One has, some people might prefer one, some people might prefer the other. Some people may only do one because that's the equipment they have access to. Maybe you don't have a cable machine wherever you're trained, so you have to use dumbbells. Whatever. As long as you're getting that full stretch, and as long as you're contracting your pecs by moving your arms out in front of you like this, you'll still see some results. Is one better than the other? I personally think cables might be a little bit better, but if you don't have access to cables, then just do it with dumbbells. So it's the same concept here with the RDLs or back extensions. Do whatever, just go nice and controlled, get a good stretch in the hamstrings, and then that mind-muscle connection, contract them as you come up. Nothing too crazy. And then for the calf raises over there, I found out about that through back in my day, of when I was first coming up. I'm like, you know what, I think I want to start pursuing this bodybuilding thing before I completely switched to just training like a power lifter. I first started off with bodybuilding as the main goal. So I was looking up everyone. At the time, Kai Green was a real big bodybuilder. It was the time when him and Phil Heath were competing for the Mr. Olympia contest. Whoa, was that a bee? What is that? Did y'all hear that? I heard a buzzing. I thought it was a bee. It was at the time when Phil Heath and Kai Green were competing for the Mr. Olympia competition. So when they were competing and going at it, I remember seeing a video of Kai Green, and then he was saying that that's how he does his calf raises, and then he does it at the very beginning of his leg workout, because again, that's a lacking point. Amongst many bodybuilders, they have massive thighs, but their calves are so small in proportion. You have to have flow. Everything needs to be balanced out. So he said, do it 10 this way, 10 this way, 10 this way. You'll hit all parts of your calf. So I'm like, oh, I need to start doing that. And here we are. With the toes pointed in. All right, 10 in. Okay. Oh, okay, no, that's it. Oh, okay, I was trying to get 15 on that one, but I think I got 14 and a half. All right, so when it comes to supersetting, hold on. Oh, okay, whoa. Hamstrings contracting like crazy. I feel like they're about to cramp. So when it comes to supersetting your workouts, I see nothing wrong with it. Now, obviously, there has a certain degree of cardio associated with it because, you know, you just gave it your all on one set and then you're about to give it your all on another exercise, so you better hope your heart rate is not the limiting factor because a lot of you have the muscle strength to get you through whatever exercise you're doing, but what is it that limits you? Your heart starts beating real fast, you can't get enough air. That's your cardio, buddy. You got to work on that, especially on things like squats or like heavy leg movements. But when it's smaller exercises like this, you can recover pretty fast. They're not very fatiguing, but they do stimulate the muscle real quick. Like you can hear me right now. I'm only out of breath the first couple seconds, but afterwards, I'm good because they're just smaller muscle groups. The exercise is not very like fatiguing cardio wise, but you still get a good amount of stimulus on that muscle. And I remember there was this one specific video from Dr. Mike Israetel from Renaissance Periodization. Go ahead and check out that channel. Honestly, he's becoming one of my new favorite YouTubers because I'm real big on, like, you know, obviously the science application behind working out. A lot of people hate on science-based lifters saying, well, if their science backs this up, why don't they do it? Why don't they look bigger? Like, I'll trust the bodybuilder and what he says. It's like, yeah, the reason why you're trusting the bodybuilder and what he says is because the bodybuilder is just completely full of steroids. Obviously, he's going to look a lot bigger. But if you were to take away his steroids, he will look like, you know, pretty good, well-developed, science-based lifter. But then we got Dr. Mike Israetel, who openly admits that he is on steroids and is a science-based lifter, and obviously he looks jacked up. So everyone gives hate on science-based lifter, but y'all gotta remember, science is what got us to the point where we are right now. A lot of the training principles that you say or that you do, how do you think they came up with it? Through science, through actually applying it. But he did say something about when it comes to a certain exercise, you want to find an exercise that has a, I can't remember if he said like a high stimulus, low fatigue ratio, maybe something along the lines of that, where you want to find an exercise where it targets the muscle exactly the way it's supposed to, but it doesn't fatigue you right away. And the way I like to think about it is goblet squats. For me, goblet squats, they target my quads so well. I feel a massive burn when I do them, but they're just so taxing. I need like 10 minutes between sets for some reason. They fatigue me that much, and not in the good way. The good way is when they burn the quads, but if it takes me 10 minutes to recover from a set, like get my heart rate back down, catch my breath, that's not real good. But if I were to do things like a hack squat, oh no, they target my quads equally as well, but I only have to take like 3 minutes at most to recover from the set. So it's little things like that that you should be on the lookout for. And exercises like this, they don't fatigue me they're not very taxing on like my cardio, heart rate, catching my breath, things like that. But I do feel a massive burn on the hamstrings, the calves, whatever muscle group I'm training, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want to do an exercise, and the reason why you can't push any harder is because your cardio is just too much for you. You gotta find lunges. That's another thing. When I do lunges, man, it just takes so much out of me. That's why I'd rather just not do them at all. They take so much out of me, and I don't even feel it in my quads. No matter how hard I try to do lunges, how correct my form is, I just never feel it in my quads. All I ever do is feel it in my glutes. Again, I tried angling, tried elevating the heel, split squats, forward lunges, walking lunges, whatever it is. I tried every variation. I tried doing it as perfectly as I can, every little tip and tricks to make it very quad biased. Nope, I still feel it in my glutes. So I'm like, and I'm just pushing myself. I'm getting nothing out of it for the quads. So what's the point of doing them? I'd rather just switch it out for some type of other squat variation. So that just goes to show you, be smart about your exercise selection. Okay. Oh, I think I did 11 on those. Getting a little carried away. Okay. Okay, no. Okay, the reps. The form's starting to fall apart. Oh, okay. Woo-wee. All right, so that's it for those two. Again, just sticking to 3 sets per exercise. So overall, we've done 6 sets of 6 sets of calves, 6 sets of hamstrings. Now we're gonna move on to some quad work. We're gonna go ahead and superset hack squats with some sissy squats. If y'all don't know who who sissy squats are, what sissy squats are, I'm telling you, y'all are missing out. You want some quad gains, you want a massive stretch on those quads, go ahead and knock them out. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and start with the actual hack squats. All right, let's get it going. I don't know how many reps, honestly, we're just gonna go by the feel of it. And then same thing, slow on the way down, full range of motion. Feel those quads work. Again, it's not about the ego. Don't lift heavy. Just make the target muscle work. Oh, God, those suck. So now, let's go ahead and do some sissy squats. It might look a little funny, but like I said, if you want some good quads, this is what you gotta do. Okay. One more. Oh man. Those burn like crazy, but that will really help build the quads. Pretty much what a sissy squat is, as you saw, is think of it just like as a body weight standing leg extension. The only joint that should be bending on that one, hold on, out of breath. The only joint that should be moving or bending at that point is just your knees. As you go down, you see my knees, I'm not bending at my hip and then I'm turning into an awkward squat. No, only your knees bend, because what's the muscle that allows us to lock out and extend our knee? It's our quads. So therefore, you want to work them. That's a good way to go about it. So again, I'm supersetting. Saves time. You may have noticed the first couple exercises, I supersetted 2 opposite muscle groups compared to right now where I'm supersetting 2 exercises that work the same muscle group. Which way is the best method? If I'm being honest, most likely the first option where you superset 2 exercises that work different muscle groups is gonna be the best, but it comes down to personal preference and what you can do and what you're available to do. You know, don't take my word for it, but here's the logic behind it. You work one muscle group. you just fatigued it, and now you're about to work it out with another exercise that works the same muscle group. Like, bro, give your muscle some time to relax. How is it supposed to push as hard as it can in the second exercise if it's not even recovered from the first one? So that's why it would be better, ideally, to do it with two separate muscle groups. I started off with calf raises, worked on my calves. They're fatigued. Well, now they can rest. I don't have to worry about pushing them harder because afterwards I did leg curls, which works the hamstrings. So, I mean, where's the limiting factor there? It's not the calves, because the calves are not going to contribute to those leg curls, at least not as much. Calves do help bend your knee, believe it or not, but that's nerd talk for a different episode. But that would be ideal. But I mean, if you have to, like what I'm doing right now, that's okay. This is already at the end of the workout. I'm just getting some good quad work in. The main emphasis of today was just calves and hamstrings, so this is just icing on the cake. So it's really not gonna make any difference to me if I do it back to back like this. Now, if I were to be training at the beginning and I did squats at the very beginning, like this, like hack squats, then maybe I wouldn't want to do sissy squats right after. I'll probably superset it with another exercise that works a different muscle group that needs work on. Because again, the fact that I'm doing it at the end of the workout, that just shows it's the least important. So I can just kind of just doing whatever, getting away with a bit. But exercise selection does matter. Whatever is most important to you, ideally that's what should be at the beginning of the workout. Hence, again, why I start off with the calf raises, because that is my lacking point. That's what I want to do. If I were to just say run out of time now, I gotta already start rushing to work, well then I would have just skipped the sissy squats, maybe even the hack squats. That's okay, because I got my good main work done over there with the hamstrings and the calves. But it's just a matter of, importance and what you need to prioritize. Again, when it comes to bodybuilding, prioritize the muscles contracting and growing. When it comes to strength, prioritize that movement specifically that you're trying to increase, and focus on getting that weight from point A to point B in the easiest ways possible. Again, when it comes to bodybuilding, you're trying to make the weight feel as heavy as possible to really force that muscle to work. When it comes to training for strength, you're gonna try to find ways to make that weight feel as light as possible. So that's a good way to think about it. All right, let's go ahead and get another set in of these hack squats. Again, I love hack squats. It really emphasizes the quads. Again, RiffFit sent me this as well. If you haven't seen that review video, please do so. This has been this machine specifically, I could do leg press and hack squats, but me personally, I love hack squats a lot more. I've never used it before, but I'm like, I've always wanted to. And right when they sent me this, I tried it out for the first time. I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I thought it would feel like. So I've been using it honestly just mainly for this, more so than leg press. And the leg press is not bad. It's just I hate that I have to put so many more plates to actually feel something, because I mean, it's obvious with leg press you can get away with loading up more weight. That's just annoying to me, having to re-rack a bunch of weights, take them off. Especially if you're working out with someone who's a little weaker than you, then you have to take off some plates for them, and then once you're set, you gotta put them back on. It's just so much extra hassle and extra work. I'd rather just do the hack squats where I don't even have to load it up as much. But to each their own. Do whatever exercise you feel works best for you. Again, leg press is still a great exercise for the quads. It's just personal preference. Let's get this again. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, dude. Those burn. Saying you want a massive stretch in those quads, that will work greatly for you. Oh my God, dude, look how white my quads are. My thighs are. They never get sunlight. So I like to think that my quads are good. It's just my calves, man. They're small. But whatever. That's why we're doing this. I always say to myself that I'm putting myself through this type of pain and torture, replacing emotional pain with physical pain, waking up sore every day, never satisfied with the way I look, force feeding food down my throat all day because trying to put on as much muscle as possible, raging caffeine addiction. All of this when I could have just taken up a sport like golf, where I have to do very minimal effort and still call myself an athlete. But it's okay. We choose our own battles. I need water. Oh my God. So another good thing about working out all the other different muscle groups first before actually making your way over to the big compound movements like this is you don't have to load it up as much weight because you're already fatigued. I know hamstrings and calves don't really contribute much to a squat if they do at all, which they kind of do a little, but that's besides the point. But if I were to start off with this, I'd probably be putting more weight back here. Right now I have a 35 and a 25 on here, which again, it's not heavy, but that's not the point. I'm not trying to lift as much as I can. I'm trying to contract that quad as much as I can. So just put that in perspective, especially if it's an exercise like any type of squat, deadlift, RDL, something where there's like a lot of load and it's compressing down on your spine. Sometimes it can get a little fatiguing. So if you can get away with still getting the same results and building up that muscle using those exercises, but without having to load up so much weight on your back, then by all means do so, because it's not every week that you feel like putting 3-4 plates on the squat bar and having that come crashing down on your spine. So it's good to have little things like this where it's not even 100 pounds on each side, and I'm already getting a good feel for it, good contractions. Oh my God. Again, with the water, during your workout, that should not be the only time of the day when you're prioritizing as much water intake as you can. Like you saw, this thing was full at the beginning of the workout. One more set, and it'll be done. Throughout the rest of the day, you should still continue to be drinking as much water. Don't be those people that only drink coffee in Celsius every day, and that's it. That's horrible. You need to stay hydrated no matter what, especially now that it's summer. Drink water with every meal. Drink water every day. Have that be a priority. Again, it shouldn't just be when you work out. And since we're talking about working out, the only time throughout the day when you're burning calories, getting some movement, getting that blood flowing, should not be that 1 hour workout that you do throughout the day. Especially if you're someone like myself who works an office job, or maybe you're even like a truck driver, bus driver, student, sitting in class all day. Whatever it may be, if you have an occupation where you're pretty sedentary meaning you're not moving around a lot, then you gotta get some walking breaks throughout the day, some stretching breaks. You're just so stiff, you're not burning enough calories, you're not getting your steps in throughout the day. That's just a whole lot of health issues coming your way. Yes, you worked out already once today, you put yourself pretty hard in the gym, but 1 hour of movement throughout the day is not gonna overcome 23 hours of inactivity throughout the rest of the day. So do whatever you gotta do to get as much movement in throughout the rest of the day. Me personally, I take a walking break every hour and a half at work. Go outside, walk up and down one flight of stairs, take a lap around the facility, whatever I gotta do, just get some movement in. Also get some stretching in. I got plenty of videos to help you out with that, how to stay fit if you got a 9 to 5, that's one video. Good tips there. Again, specifically for those who work a full-time job, primarily mainly in an office, that video is for you. Also, if you do work in an office, I also have another video of what stretches you can do, because most likely, we're sitting all day in front of a computer, typing emails, taking phone calls, looking at a screen all day. There's certain muscle groups that tend to get a little tight, so it's good to stretch them out. Don't know how or don't know what those muscle groups are? Well, then go ahead and watch that video. I think I titled it like 5 office stretches you should be doing, or something along the lines of that. So I do these videos for y'all to try to help you out, because I'm just taking whatever it was back in the day when I had a handful of clients, what were some of the issues that they were facing, what were some of the common issues, because a lot of them were dealing with the same things. And I try to make videos about it because I know if they had that issue, or if I know I have a specific issue, there has to be multiple people out there that also have that same problem. So I'm offering y'all solutions through these videos of what you can do to try to mitigate that issue. All right, let's get it. Last set. Oh, hit the edge of the machine. Oh God, that burns. Oh, oh my God, again, that is brutal. There you have it, everyone. So that was the full leg workout. As you saw, it took less than an hour to complete. You don't have to spend 3 or 4 hours in the gym every day. That's just a waste of time. We got jobs, we got other responsibilities we got to take care of throughout the day. Unless it's your full-time job to go to the gym, then by all means go for it. But just go in, get some good quality sets in, push yourself, good form, full stretch, full contraction, you'll be good to go. So just calf raises, supersetted with leg curls. Calf raises again, but with the toes pointed in all the different directions, supersetted with back extensions, and then finished off with hack squats, supersetted with sissy squats. 6 exercises, nothing too crazy. 6 sets for quads, 6 sets for hamstrings, 6 sets for calves. Warm-up sets do not count. As you saw, all of these were good quality sets, pushing close to, but not necessarily to failure. You don't have to go balls to the wall. You don't have to go to failure every single set of every workout. No, leave 1 or 2 reps left in the tank. You'll still see phenomenal gains. Hopefully this video was helpful. Comment down below, what are your leg workout? What do you do on your leg days? Do you prioritize your calves as well? Do you even train your calves? Don't complain about having small calves if you don't train them at all. I used to do that back in the day. I still do, sometimes, occasionally. But anyways, comment down below also any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe not just to my channel, but my girlfriend's channel, and our couple's channel, so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, we got new videos every week across the board for all 3 channels. For this channel specifically, new videos are Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And then Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on my accounts, girlfriend's accounts, couple's accounts. I put all the links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.